Welcome to the Spy Collection Digital Edition, where we are looking at spy artifacts that only exist in digital format. My name is Anastasios, and this episode would be about a cyber espionage operation from 2015 attributed to the PRC and targeting Uzbekistan. Throughout this video, we are using the terms PRC and China interchangeably. In both cases, we mean the government of the People's Republic of China. The incident became publicly known by Palo Alto Networks Unit 42, who discovered this from their telemetry and published this threat research report on January 21, 2016. So if you'd like to get more details, please check out this report. Links in the description. Generally speaking, Uzbekistan and China have good relations. For instance, both are members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and Uzbekistan has even helped PRC's covert operations targeting dissidents living abroad in the past. Nevertheless, as French leader Charles de Gaulle said once, France, or any other nation-state for that matter, has no friends, only interests. So let's move to this specific incident, which doesn't necessarily reflect the relation of China and Uzbekistan. On December 12, 2015, an Uzbekistan official who was previously stationed in Uzbekistan embassy in Beijing, China, reportedly as part of the Foreign Ministry's diplomatic mission, was the target of this operation, and according to Unit 42, the only identified target. Given that, there is a chance that he was an undercover intelligence operative that Chinese counterintelligence wanted to investigate, or someone they were trying to recruit as their agent, or numerous other potential scenarios. Actually, if you have more details, please let us know in the comments below. Regardless, here is a screenshot of that email. Its subject was just a date, and the body of the email said, "Yours faithfully, ACSD, Russian Foreign Ministry," and had a file attachment containing an official report from the CHS, the Council of Heads of Member States of the SCO. Unit 42 also highlighted that in the file name it contains the word Ufa, which likely refers to the city of Ufa in Russia, where on July 9th and 10th of 2015, the Russian Federation hosted the SCO BRICS Summit, where the two organizations had sessions about mutual cooperation, regional security issues, and more. All of that makes it a highly targeted exploitation attempt, and as you can imagine, that Microsoft Word document was weaponized by PRC cyber espionage operatives before being sent to this government official. Specifically, the operatives used the MNKit, a document exploit generator that was used by both nation-state actors and cybercriminals at the time. MNKit had some known vulnerabilities and could be used to modify any document in order to exploit those known vulnerabilities. The one that was used in this case was the CVE 2012-0158. That was discovered and fixed by Microsoft with this bulletin in April of 2012. So as long as this diplomat had kept his software up to date, he would be protected against it. In summary, this vulnerability was a result of a mistake that Microsoft developers did in the Microsoft Common Controls library on how it was managing the memory for the list view and tree view ActiveX controls. This mistake resulted in what is known as a buffer overflow vulnerability, meaning that a specially crafted document could overwrite memory that it shouldn't normally have access to due to lack of bound checks. Using some advanced exploitation techniques, exploit developers could take advantage of this flaw to trick the system into executing their code. And this is what the Chinese operatives did in this case. After achieving this remote code execution, which only required the target to open the specially crafted document, the code was doing two things. First, it was displaying a decoy document which was blank. At the same time, it was using a technique known as DLL side loading to covertly load the cyber espionage software implant. DLL side loading means that the Chinese operatives side loaded their implant by planting it and then invoking a legitimate program that executes it. This is an anti-detection technique since the malicious code is loaded by legitimate application in a way that doesn't appear suspicious. The cyber espionage software implant used was NetTraveler, a software implant that has been around since at least 2004, and it has been used numerous times over the years. According to cyber threat intelligence experts, NetTraveler is associated with Chinese nation-state actors, and until 2016, it was one of the primary cyber espionage frameworks used by the PRC. It provides complete, covert control of the compromised device, including executing arbitrary code and commands, copying files to and from the device, key logging, and many other capabilities. Its nickname, NetTraveler, was assigned to it by the first cyber threat intelligence researchers that uncovered it. That was the Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Labs, who first identified it and linked it to a series of cyber espionage operations globally. As Kaspersky Labs stated themselves, the name NetTraveler comes from an internal string which is present in early versions of the malware. NetTraveler is running. This malware is used by advanced persistent threat actors for basic surveillance of their victims. Earliest known samples have a timestamp of 2005, although references exist indicating activity as early as 2004. The largest number of samples we observed were created between 2010 and 2013. Back to the operation, after NetTraveler is covertly installed, it uses a series of detection evasion techniques to decrypt its configuration settings, and then starts its communication with a C2 server using DES encryption for the payload. Actually, here is a screenshot from one of the earlier versions of NetTraveler that its operatives were using to define those configurations that were later deployed on their targets. Regarding the C2 server used, as we read in Unit 42's analysis, at the time of the analysis, the domain, this one, was resolving to this IP address, which is hosted by Crypt Technologies. A report published by Kaspersky Labs in 2011 on NetTraveler also mentions the C2 servers were being hosted by Crypt Technologies. This web hosting service provider continues to be the hosting provider of choice for the threat actors behind NetTraveler. Note that in Russian, Voyen Novosti, the domain name of the C2 server, translates to military news. This was likely selected so that it won't appear suspicious if someone did some network traffic analysis and saw the device of this official reaching out to this site. And that's the story of how China targeted an official from Uzbekistan, who was previously based in China, in order to conduct espionage. If you have more insights into the motivations or the bigger picture of this intelligence gathering operation, please let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, this is another reminder of how important the cyber domain remains in the spy world of the 21st century, and how a common email with an official report might be hiding a more clandestine capability, since nothing's as it seems.